And President Joe Biden issuing a statement on Kohl's passing, saying, quote, Herb Kohl was one of the finest people I've served with, a kind and principled man of integrity and character, one of Wisconsin's greatest ever advocates and a dear friend, end quote. President Biden and Senator Kohl served together in the Senate for 20 years.